this the beginning of the end for the housing market? Welcome back. This is Mac Rogers. I'm a real estate broker here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Thanks for tuning in. The beginning of this week was not good for prospective home buyers. Mortgage rates on average is above 3.5% on the 30-year fix. This means that if you were looking at a medium priced home of $350,000 with a 20% down, your monthly payments just went up by $125. These jumps in interest rates are absolutely scary because the thought was originally we were going to be slowly going up, and by the end of 2022, we could be somewhere around 3.5 to 3.75%. We're not even in the middle of January and we are already above 3.5%. The jump was because the Feds announced that it would offload mortgage-backed bonds from its balance sheet sooner than expected. So instead of that slow rate increase everyone was expecting, we just shot up. And now people are talking about possibly a 4.5% rate by the end of the year. This is not what was expected. Mortgage rates haven't been this high since the start of the pandemic. During that time, mortgage rates have been hitting historic lows. And some say that this further helped fuel the demand for housing. And we all know the story behind this. Plenty of demand, but not enough houses to sell. This higher interest rate could signal the end of this hot housing market as buyers will start getting hit in affordability. Affordability plus home prices going up will really hurt home buyers. I mean, think about it. Last year, home prices was up by almost 20%. That's on top of 2019 and 2020 gains. These rates of appreciation are much faster than we had in the housing crash back in 2008. We've talked about the labor and material shortages, how the meaning of home has changed for most people, and low interest rates driving up all this demand and bidding wars. But is this the kryptonite? Is it finally over? And I think more importantly, are we going to come crashing down, or are we still gradually going to slow down? A lot of people out there believes that there is a coming implosion that will be bigger than the mortgage meltdown. They cite inflation, the forbearance, and how home prices' current trajectory is not sustainable. And now, a skyrocketing mortgage interest rate. And that's not hyperbole. When you go from 3% to 3.25% and over 3.5% in less than a week, that's a lot. Now, I can tell you that before this week, I'm in the camp of probably it won't be a full-blown crash. Maybe something a little bit less dramatic, but after what I've seen, I'm slightly changing my mind. Slightly. The housing market predictions that are out there is for us to be up another 8% by the end of 2022. And those numbers were already revised up. But that was before the Fed signaled that they were going to taper faster. So I feel like that this next set of forecasts, it probably would get revised downward. I think at this point, it becomes psychology and fear rather than facts that would lead people to act or not to act. Even if home price appreciation was to be revised down, it would still be appreciation. But because we're coming in from an absolutely scorching hot market, it would seem like it's going down. So what should you be doing moving forward? My main advice has always been buy and sell when you need to and not time the market. But just know what to expect so that you won't be disappointed and you know what to do. For buyers, if you're thinking that this market will turn into a buyer's market, you'll surely be disappointed. While we might see a slight bump in inventory and a slight decrease in demand, the reality is that we are nowhere near meeting that demand for housing. And also, if you're still banking on foreclosures coming from forbearance, know this: the rate of forbearance, or actually mortgage delinquencies, has hit pre-pandemic levels in the latest reporting period. And they cite the continuing improvement of the labor market and the continued increase in home equity. And the expectation is that this will continue to decrease in 2022. So a hard no on that. So it will be less competition, but there will still be competition. More inventory, but still not enough to turn the tide. For sellers, can you just put lipstick on a pig and you're off to the races? Absolutely not. You have missed the boat on that one. Gone are the days that you just put a sign in the lawn and not care about how the house looks, because you have 20 or more buyers lined up falling all over themselves to buy your house. Yes, buyers are still willing to pay top dollar for houses, but only if they see the value. Buyers know that there are more inventory coming, so they are more willing to wait and see. So when you price your home, it is key that you price it well in relation to the competition or what was previously been sold. I just had this conversation with one client seller of mine. They asked me the market value for their home compared to what was selling in the neighborhood. I showed them similar houses in their neighborhood was selling around 1.7 to 1.8, and those houses were all updated. Those homes were also still getting multiple bids. But for a house like theirs, it's more like around 1.5 million and slightly below because theirs wasn't updated. And to prove my point further, true enough, there was a house that got sold that was similar to their house in size and condition, and it sold below 1.5 million and actually stayed on the market for 21 days. Now, 21 days might not seem long, but when you have houses selling 7 to 10 days, 21 days seems forever. While a crash is still unlikely, I think there's starting to be glimpses or slight possibilities of home prices actually would start to retreat. No one expected the feds to act this aggressively, and if they continue on this path, those 5% or 6% mortgage rates could be just around the corner. Think about that for a moment. That is almost double of where we were last year, and no one was saying that this was possible just a couple of weeks ago. The housing market moves fast and all these outlooks are still rosy, but with everyone getting jittery, one event could send us in the other direction. So if you're ready to make the move, don't time the market. No one gets it right. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're thinking of buying or selling, we have some free resources for you. Our winter home buyer and home seller guides. Click on the link below to get it. Have a great day.